What up, y'all? Thank you for joining me. As always, I'm your foul player, and thank you for stepping into the foul play land, where at this time, I'm within the comfortable confines of one of my closed closets. So, quite literally, I'm stuck in a closet. No homo. Fucking, I like broads. Happily married. I have one son. Don't subscribe to that lifestyle, my friends. Fucking, if you do, do what you do, but not me. Anyways, I'm making this video to discuss fucking it's kind of like a part two of whether Mayweather, particularly Mayweather, is buck dancing or cooning. Actually, you know what? I'd rather touch on like everybody, because I mean, like, everybody got on like Andre Ward, and in addition to Mayweather, like bucking and cooning. But I mentioned in the video before that to me they were both hating, and it wasn't like coming from a sense of like cooning or buck dancing. I think like cooning, it's like more cats that are like trying to make bread off of it, and Mayweather's already like kind of like making bread. And on top of that too, I mean, like, I don't think like the white populace or the powers that be are gonna reward Mayweather for bucking it up. With Andre Ward, I mean, maybe they in a case like that they could reward him potentially. Not that they would reward him like that. It's like that's how like things will break down. Like, somebody like bucks in one of these instances with either one of these two cats. Like, if one of them were to buck, like, then they get some opportunity doing something else, or they get rewarded immediately. Nah, I don't think that that's the case. Like, fucking with these two cats. I'm not saying that nobody does it. I'm just saying, like, in these instances, they're both doing more like hating. And you're gonna see that a lot, man. I mean, and because I've already seen it a lot in the past with American black fighters hating on each other. I mean, they don't want to be like the guy that's like kind of like an afterthought. Andre Ward may already feel like sort of like an afterthought because he's had a perfect career. He's done everything right. I mean, and he never really caked it like that. Like, I think he had like, maybe a handful of pay-per-views total. He wasn't like a big money fighter like that. And Mayweather, he's fucking hates on everybody, man. Mayweather's hating on dudes within his own camp, like Tank Davis. Mayweather has a bunch of people around him at a constant, that are telling him he's fucking like the man at every corner. Like, this dude is like Huey Lewis, like everybody in the time with the exception of like Huey Lewis, and you know what I'm saying, like, fucking move some of this shit out of my way. Yeah, like, this is one of my fucking closets, like, where I keep some of my gear. And this, oh fuck, I don't know if you can see it, but I collect polo, like I told y'all. Like, this is like some of my some of the sweaters and shit like that. But and I'm moving out of this fucking hellhole soon. Fucking, like I keep mentioning my other videos. Pretty soon I'll be in a whole new different cribs. Nice as fuck too, man. My new cribs. I'm not sure like how some other people live. Maybe some of y'all have some shit that'll fucking completely like destroy my shit, but y'all maybe had a head start on me, bro, because I grew up fucking broke as a motherfucker. Section 8 dwelling motherfucker. Like, my mom still live in Section 8. Fucking my father didn't work. Fucking drug addict. Rest in peace. Though I love him. My mom's was ghetto. My whole family's ghetto. Fucking 5 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment, or 5 brothers in a 2-bedroom apartment. So 7 of us. And I kind of feel accomplished that I'm moving to my cribs, even though I have another crib too, like, fucking, but I don't live there. But anyhow, enough about me. Fucking but yeah, now I'm sounding like Mayweather, fucking trying to talk about all the good shit that I got going on, like, fucking. But nah, that's coming from a humble spot, man. Like, fucking like, as far like I'm not the type of cat, to fucking make it seem like, you know, I'm kicking it like that or some shit, because I'm really not. Or like that I got it and somebody else don't, man. I say it more like I got it and I hope you could get it, and I know you could get it. Inspirational words from Foul Player. Now, but anyhow, like with both those cats, and I think with a lot of these American cats, I've never seen any American cat, like a black American cat more so, really throwing rose petals at another boxer's feet and saying like, oh, I think this cat's like fucking extra dope. And that goes mostly for cats that are like currently boxing. Like they don't be commending each other like that and saying like, you know, oh, I think this cat's dope in the lower division, like to a higher division, and vice versa. Like from a higher division to a lower division. Like just dudes be like, it's just like a very hating like fucking mentality. And it's been around for a minute. I think Mayweather like kind of like goes a little bit above and beyond that, because he's already like caked the fuck up, man. Like he's already like scratching at $1 billion like that he's made like career wise, and he's still like kind of like got that bitch ass like fucking mode to him, like where he's just like one of those cats like in the hood that like everybody else is living like real poor, and like fucking not only there's this one guy that not only does he have like more money than the rest of y'all, but he's trying to make it, he's trying to like flaunt it, like fucking like rub your face in it type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like so I mean like, you know, cats like that, I mean with Mayweather's case, I mean like it's apparent. You know, he's an immature ass dude. He's fucking like a little kid, like be doing dumb shit like that. Like, you know, he's already like in his 40s and he still rolled the same way. Like and like I guess, you know, like in years past, like the whole money, like flaunting money shit was cool. Like I mean like, and I won't front on you, like Mayweather was the person whose pay-per-views I would buy the most, because they were big events, and you know I like Mayweather. I used to like Mayweather, but he really started rubbing me like the wrong way. Like I would have to say like honestly recently, like when I really started getting into like watching other people's YouTube shit, like where and like when it came to Deontay Wilder, to be frank, like not only like did he like kind of like shit on Deontay Wilder like in his commentary, like not just this Saturday but in the past, but you know, then he go offer like, you know, render help like to Anthony Joshua, who's like ducking Wilder, who's not doing anything exemplary like for boxing, you know, as far as like trying to make matches with Fury and with Wilder. Like he's ducking both of them, and then you like giving this cat your seats at the Warriors game, and you have him in your gym, like, and he's not American at the end of the day. You know, I think in that case, like, I mean, it would be commendable if you displayed some sort of tribalism, like, and like, you know, helping your American brother out. I mean, and that just doesn't happen like across the board, like any, you know, in many walks of life for people of color, as is, like, you know, where dudes just, you know, go above and beyond like to try to like help you out, I guess, or like, you know, see you through it. So I mean, like, you know, it doesn't surprise me, you know, like when Mayweather operates in that bitch ass fashion. But I mean, I guess people are more pissed off because he's driving the point, like sitting ringside with that corny ass Newsies hat, like saying like fucking that Wilder lost the first 5 rounds, like, you know, whatever have you. I guess, you know, it's the flavor of the moment. But I mean, it's to be expected, man. Like Mayweather's just like a hater. He's a hating ass dude. Like fucking I get, you know, type the kind of cat that keeps dudes around him that are constantly dick riding him, like, you know, cats that are holding up a mirror for him and fucking holding his hat while he goes dance with shorties. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking, and there's dudes like that, like in the hood, like, you know, that you encounter here and there, like, and they're never like dudes that you show love to anyway. Just that Mayweather happens to have a ill talent. He's a superior boxer, a Hall of Fame, like all-time great boxer, and he was able to monetize his talent. You know, that's his only distinguishing factor, if you will. Andre Ward's case, I mean, I think people did get on him, like, and I heard in some facets, I was part of a live stream. I'm not even gonna mention it because, like, the live stream I was part of, I never really checked for him like that, and like fucking I jumped on his stream like because he I guess he like let people like contend um his art like what he was arguing, and he just had like bad shit to say about like fucking Wilder, but he wasn't making like a lot of sense. Like he was mentioning the fact that everybody who criticizes like Wilder like is a coon now, like, and I guess like I mean, and it's kind of like what I would like want to illustrate in this video, in the sense that it just can't be off the rip like in Andre Ward's case per se, like where he's a coon like fucking because he mentions Wilder. I think he's doing it from a little bit of a hater's perspective too. In the sense that you don't want to see that next guy climb up and be that dude where you could have been that dude, I guess, where you feel like you could have been that dude, and I feel like he should have been that dude too. I think like Andre Ward's part, like I used to feel in a way like sort of sympathetic that HBO used to shit on him hard body. Max Kellerman like fucking shaded him like when he won against Kovalev the first time around, and he shaded him just as bad, if not worse, when he beat Kovalev the second time, like in the post-fight interview. And this is not like his commentary. This is like him talking to Andre Ward, like interviewing him with the mic. And I remember, like, I'm paraphrasing, I think he said something to the effect of, in the second fight, like, I think you were losing worse this time around, and you ended up like almost making it seem like he didn't win the second fight either, man. Like, come on. And Max Kellerman was like being a hoe for a decade damn near on HBO. Fucking and thankfully like HBO is like no more, or like fucking like a non-factor, because they were playing that bitch ass role like fucking for years. But I also think too, like, I mean, like I always found it like fucking frustrating that and this is not like saying that he's a coon or none of that shit, man. Like fucking I think y'all throw that shit around like a little bit too liberally. But like when HBO was like fucking pumping Triple G, like I thought he should have been on Triple G's ass like a lot more. Like fucking I'm not sure if he was instructed like to fucking or like told what his path was gonna be, like as far as like fucking like at the end of the day we want you, there's nothing up here in 168 for you, and we want you to move to 175, and eventually we want you to fight Kovalev, like, because they were pumping Kovalev a whole heck of a lot then too. I mean, if they were pumping Triple G #1 and or like Canelo, then like the #3 guy they were pumping was definitely Kovalev, like the fucking killer and all this shit. But I always thought that or I always found it disheartening that that Andre Ward wasn't like calling out Triple G more, like saying like you should come up to 168 to fight me, or just on his ass more. Like I always found that not fishy or anything. Like at the end of the day, like dismissed the notion that like maybe the powers that be at HBO told him not to do that. I mean, I could never say never. And the argument started becoming sometimes that people would say, "Oh, well, Triple G did call him out, like fucking and I remember there was like an interview, like I think it was for Triple G versus Danny Jacobs, in which they had like a roundtable thing going on, like with Jim Lampley's stupid ass and with fucking Andre Ward was there too. I think Bernard Hopkins was there, and somebody like suggested like him fighting like Triple G, and like Triple G sort of gave an answer like fucking that he would sort of fight him, but like Andre like, and so everybody kind of like ran with that sometimes and would say, oh well, Triple G called him out. Like it wasn't really no call out. Like I mean, if he wanted to call him out, he could have just moved up to 168 and told HBO to make the fight. Like I never saw him like mentioning Andre Ward besides that one little thing, but people ran with that, like that they won't let these black fighters live, like like it with the instance like that where they think somebody like called them out, or like, you know, like they'll like let you like say 90 things about wanting to fight somebody, and then that one person says like a half a sentence about wanting to fight you, and they make it seem like they both want to fight each other like the same. You know what I'm saying? Like they be doing that shit to like, you know, like a lot of these black American fighters. Like where they make it seem like, you know, they sort of forget like what you try to do like to make fights, or like what your contributions to the game are, and then like really exemplify like somebody else's lesser contributions most time, or lesser like call outs, whatever have you. But would I consider that cooning? I don't know. Whatever. Like I don't think so. Like fucking you know, and on top of that too, man, he's always been a good guy. Like fucking you know, he's been a family man. He's, to me, like the best boxer like fucking of these past couple years. He has more skill than Terrence Crawford in my eyes. He has more skill than even Mayweather in my eyes. Like if you ever watch, there's a video where he talks about how he throws his jab, and if you watch that video, you learn how to fight like in 5 minutes, like fucking, or 4 or 5 minutes, and him talking about his like just how he throws his left hand. You know, you could implement that shit in a street fight any day of the week, or if you already box, like the man just dropped the jewel on you. I mean, like, so he's super skilled, you know, family guy. I know he's religious, like fucking I'm not religious, like I don't give a shit about that stuff. But just because he gives his quote unquote opinion about Wilder, I mean, and it may not be to our liking or your liking, it doesn't necessarily qualify as cooning. Now, I mentioned earlier, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but I just so happened to mention, like, in that round table, somebody who I do think is cooning, like in the round table that I mentioned for HBO. And that's definitely Bernard fucking Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins, one of my favorite fighters of all time, who I made money betting against when he fought Joe Smith, because nobody knew who Joe Smith was, and I from New York, and I saw Joe Smith fight a few times. He's from Long Island. Like, shout out to Long Island, but I've probably been to Long Island like 3 times my whole life, because that's like going to Canada for me, or for anybody from New York. As Blue Blood, shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV. But Bernard Hopkins is a big time fucking coon in my eyes. Bernard Hopkins like fucking acts completely different than when he used to act as a fighter, and he got shitted on royally. Like, Bernard Hopkins was like fucking sort of forcing his way into big fights, but he ain't get big fights all the time like that. And for him to do like a complete 180 for these past couple years and really show his ass like recently as far as the coon game goes, Bernard Hopkins is fucking Coonmeister fucking 3.0, 4,000, like fucking, he's a big time like fucking coon in my eyes, like fucking. And the thing is, like, you almost expect these mulatto brothers or fucking these light skinned cats that like these white circles like to keep around to be playing that role. Nah, Bernard Hopkins is fucking ghetto as fuck. Motherfucker look like a burnt out Cameron, old, fucking got no eloquency to his speaking. And he stay cooning, bro. Like, and then he's cooning for fucking Golden Boy on top of that. Fucking Golden Boy, cooning for like fucking pretty much Oscar de la Hoya, another guy who be shading like fucking black fighters and like never did anything for a black fighter in his life. Piece of shit. Fucking, he was coked up the other day for that Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell press conference. Oscar de la Hoya, fucking. Now I'm not even gonna like. I don't even gotta speak on the whole fishnets, fucking funny style behavior that he participates in, man. Fucking piece of shit like that, and you cooning for him? Oof. B-Hop is a fucking coon, that like big time coon, bro. He might as well get them fucking like the little like fucking eye mask on his across his eyes tattooed on his fucking fake ass. He's fucking corny as shit. And on top of that too, like on like some of these paydays, like Mosley, like how the fuck you like supposedly own a part of like fucking Golden Boy, and you ain't making like fucking major pay like fucking on these fights. You're not getting the fights that you think could make you the most money. Like it reminds me of like when Shane Mosley fought Canelo, and was due to get fucking clobbered, and I think they paid him 450,000. Like, you's a bitch, bro. Like, I mean, I'd run to another promotional company and fight somebody else, fucking rather than get fucking completely destroyed in a pay-per-view match, no doubt. But you're getting paid 450,000. No, that wasn't even a pay-per-view match. I think that was a regular HBO match. But you're supposed to be an owner at Golden Boy at that time, and you let these dudes pay you fucking $500,000 or less to get fucking your fucking guts turned into fucking ground beef. Like, I mean, that's not cooning, but that's just a bitch ass move. Like, you a pawn, bro. You a pawn in the game, my man. But man, to me that's more like, I mean, B-Hop is like what I would consider a quintessential Uncle Tom, Qoons BuckDancer. Like fucking but not like Mayweather. Mayweather's just a hating ass motherfucker. And I mean, Mayweather might be on par, if not worse than what B-Hop does, as far as like the level of person he is. Like, he's just like a straight piece of shit. Like, I'm not like and I loved Mayweather, man. Like, I'm telling you, Mayweather was one of my favorite fighters. I ain't supporting shit Mayweather do no more. Like, fucking cause you just a bird, bro. Supporting AJ's ass, like fucking Mayweather during the time in which AJ is straight acting like a bitch. You shitting on Wilder. Mayweather, my man, fucking you way in the backseat now. Yo, and that Mayweather boxing club, like fucking those videos that came out, bro, to my mother, I've watched like maybe half of one, and that shit was just corny, bro. It was like fucking, I think they were talking about like who would win between Anthony Joshua and Wilder, and the dude was just straight fucking dick riding, bro. Like fucking, because I had heard like Mayweather supposedly had shitted on Wilder, and I clearly got that perception from that video when they were going around the gym. You could tell like some bitch ass like dude who would probably like run to Mayweather and narc on like somebody who would answer like that they thought like Wilder would win that fight. Because I remember like in the video that I was watching, like nobody answered like for Wilder. Or if they did after like the part that I didn't watch, like they probably got kicked out of the Mayweather gym. Like, you a total hoe. I can't stand dudes like that, bro. Like fucking, I mean, it's a damn shame that it took me like this long to realize, like not realize, but like fucking like to stop to my arms are getting tired, bro. Like to come to the revelation where I ain't paying this kid like no more cash. And I ain't paid for the fucking McGregor fight, but that's not like no credit to me. I didn't pay for the Andre Berto fight either, but like every pay-per-view before that I paid for Mayweather. Straight up, like I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I'm not gonna be one of them type of channels that make it seem like fucking when one of these dudes be slipping up like that, I've always got the inclination that this dude is an asshole or trash. Nah, just full disclosure. On this side, I'm very candid about how I do things, like fucking, and how I'll do things in the future. And I'll tell you straight up, I was a fucking customer for fucking the Mayweather pay-per-view events. And it's not like I'm saying much now, like, oh, I'm not buying that shit no more. He ain't really fighting no more like that. So I'm not making much of a statement in saying that. I'm just saying he's a bitch ass dude. Like you're a complete like fucking hater. Like haters don't get rewarded like on this side. And I mean, like, you know, I don't want to hear no bullshit. Like, I know a lot of y'all cats be fucking be Tom Petty and shit. Like, oh, so you're saying like he was a hate, like, you know, like fucking like you ain't noticed he was a hater back in the day, and like nah, bro, like fucking I'm a human being, bro. Like fucking I like Mayweather, so what, bro? Like fucking like some of y'all like are in your 30s listening to fucking Lil Uzi Vert or some of these ass cheek rappers, bro. Like fucking y'all out of pocket, bro. Like fucking like, you know, y'all be like fucking saying shit that these young cats say. You know what I'm saying? I don't relate to none of it, like this shit out here, bro. Like fucking you know, me relating like to Mayweather or me rewarding Mayweather fucking when he was doing his thing a couple years ago. I mean, like, you know, you can't blame me or dismiss me for doing that when you were probably doing that shit too, bro. Stop fronting. Anyways, I didn't mean to go off on that tangent at the end. Let me shout out some of the channels that I love. Shout out to Cali Enigma, man. Rest in peace to Cali Enigma's pops, man. I know how much it hurts to lose your dad. I lost my pops a few years ago. And that shit sucked. I was just thinking about my pops a few minutes ago. So shout out to Cali Enigma and rest in peace to his dad. Shout out to Blue Blood Sports. I fucking haven't given him a shout out yet, man. And I don't know how I shade my New York counterpart or my New York. I'm not nobody's counterpart in the game of yet, man. Cause me and my fucking 12 subscribers, like fucking But shout out to Blue Blood Sports. Definitely shout out to my uncle and big bro for non-international sport. Damn, I don't be for non-international boxing. Like I might be getting the last part of that name wrong. But shout out to World Breaker, Lois Dawkins. Man, check out fucking Scrapbook Boxing, bro. Scrapbook Boxing got like dope content on the low. Like and it's very short to the point too, man. Like a lot of those videos, they're not like fucking these long ass diatribes, and like that's like your history right there, man. Like fucking like if you're a boxing fan, man, like that's the true history of like dudes that they were probably forgetting during the time in which they were fighting. And I'm pretty sure like they were afterthoughts 2 years after they stopped fighting, man. So make sure you check out Scrapbook Boxing and fucking shout out to Scrapbook Boxing, shout out to Lois Dawkins, shout out to Junior the Truth, Junior in the AM. Make sure you check him out. He's always on at around 7 o'clock in the morning, or just about 7 o'clock in the morning. I peep Junior the Truth almost every day when I can. Who else? Shout out to the General 78, Black Fight Fan TV, even though I'm blocked from commenting on that channel for some fucking ungodly reason. But shout out to Black Fight Fan TV. Who else? I mean, if I'm forgetting you, man, like I'm gonna be doing this shit every day. So along the way, I'll mention you as well, bro. Like fucking shout out to the whole LDBC too, man. Like fucking everybody out there is providing fine content, and I consider everybody out there is trying to balance the scales with this fucking biased ass boxing coverage that's been happening in the past. And I think you are all doing a good job in trying to rectify something that's been fucked up for many years. And I think it's making a difference, man. It's making a big difference in how this sport is covered. It's making a big difference in how these reporters are like non-factors no more. That fat fuck that reports for ESPN, that boxer, I forgot his name, that boxer writer, like he was in the background during the Wilder Fury fight. He's gonna die soon. So when these dudes start disappearing, this old media, it's gonna be y'all and hopefully me too. Like fucking I'm repping LDBC, bro, but I wasn't given permission yet. If somebody gotta say something about that, you come talk to me. I ain't gonna do no fucking addressing shit on no YouTube shit, man. That's for the birds. You want to see me, like fucking we'll see each other if it's a thing like that. Only one person can come check me on well, I'll listen to it as far as not using the LDBC tag. Other than that, man, like if that person doesn't check me, and then don't think that you're gonna come up in here like trying to look for some sort of come up off of me, because it ain't gonna happen. Like don't, like I'm not trying to like flex on nobody, bro, but I'm definitely not the one like to be getting on some internet shit, because I'm not no internet I was about to say unauthorized word, but fucking I'm not that dude. Like definitely not that dude. Like please don't try it like with foul play. You heard? So yeah, with that I'm out, bro. I just acted immature in that little last stanza, but I just got the inclination from a message that somebody sent me, like fucking and I ain't gonna put nothing on blast like that, because I ain't no youngster. Alright, so thanks for checking with me. Thanks for checking for me. Thanks for you for stepping into the foul play land with your boy. Peace.